Hello everyone, Hachadino over here, and today I'm going to show you the, let's say, tips and tricks and cooldown things for Mythic Ulgrax. This also works for Heroic and Normal. The only mechanic that changes, as you might expect, is you get some extra dangerous adds in the interface, and also you can't repeat on the Sook. Now, as for the build that you might want to play, it's this one. It's the single target build with Trickster, and we are going to go for full on boss damage. We are not going to do much damage in the interface, so do not expect to purse well if you play this, but your boss damage should be a little bit higher. We are not going to play, of course, Deathstalker, even if it's a bit more single target, because even at that point, you can get a little bit more value by doing some special tech. I'm going to, of course, explain this. And one thing that I want to say is, if you are watching this video in 11.0.5, to watch the other playlist that I will be posting, because it will have a different build, because sub is changing and this time here invigorating shadow dust is not going to exist anymore. This is let's say guide for the 11.0.2. There are also some things that I'm going to talk about some items that I do not have, but the general idea is how to use your cooldowns and how to use your mobility or things like that that you can expect from Rogue. Now, one thing that you might want to do is you can get Tricks of the Trade to help your tongues, or you can use Blackjack with Airborne Irritant to get some damage reduction on these mobs. That is, of course, up to you, depending on how your tanks play. It may help one way or another. As for the other talent changes, I don't expect many things to change. You can also play, if you want, Elusiveness instead of Cheat Death for the dots, and when you get the Sook, to reduce the damage intake. Now, let's go for the kill itself. As you might expect, I'm not a super good player, and my guild is also not the stellar, but we are still going to kill this boss, and I'm going to show you kind of how to do it. There will be no sound, but I'm going to explain my abilities and my cooldowns while we're doing this. So, as Rogue and of course Trickster, on the pool you will do the triple dance. So, Shadow Strike, Slice and Dice, and then get your full combo points, get Rupture up, get your cooldowns, pop your potion, they pop that thing. And remember, one thing that you can do as Trickster, you can hit the boss from the front. As long as he's faced, he can't parry you. You also leave this way place for other people to explode their thingies, and you are super safe and you don't have anything to worry. Now, as for which one it's better to do, it's this one. You want to be on the first group instead of the second. I was on the second group for some reason. I forgot to say it to my raid leader, but the changes are not crazy. Now, what you are seeing me do here is, after your triple dance, you are going to go into these symbols of death without any dance. Now, do try to not pop any of these ones that are here. Make a line for people to get sucked, and then you will get this suck. Here, I do recommend that you use your flagellation and then banish blades, like we did in season 3, to hit the boss. That's why you want to be on the first group. But I'm going to use this anyway. My damage is not going to be super hard because, as you might expect, we are going to lose some damage to this. Of course, if you are using transmitter, you are going to use that after the thing ends. Now, where we are doing this because we get it anyway after the boss phases. I still got some damage into it. Now the interface is nothing crazy. Your tanks and all the melee and other places are going to get all of the mobs. Do remember to focus the bile soaked ones. Those are the dangerous ones. And also to pop defensives. If you play elusiveness, now is the place to use your evasion and your faint charges. You're going to do a normal dance over here. Remember to only do one dance, and then you are going to bank some cooldown reduction and also get a viscera and then you will pop a Viscera and use your Shadow Step or other movement abilities to get more Visceras. Get the one in melee, of course, first. And if someone gets webbed, help them. Now, on the second phase, as you can see here, if you use those cooldowns there, you can use the same proposition. If you have Transmitter, now you would use Transmitter here. Here you would, of course, use Flagellation and then Vanish. And remember to hold your Symbols of Death for the 3 seconds so it doesn't get pandemic out. Don't get hit by your fellow teammates. You can, of course, remember my early thing that I talked about going in front of the boss. And you triple dance here and then get once again the feast. As you might expect, I'm here on the second group, so I'm not using that feast. Use your Symbols of Death as soon as possible here. For some reason, I waited some extra seconds. Kind of a misplay. I was watching health or something like that, I didn't remember. Then, after the Symbols of Death alone, you are going to use a dance with Symbols of Death on here one. You can also pop your defensive or your cloak or anything. Don't get hit by the acid thingies. And now this is the one that I will soak. Go into it with your friends. Remember, at least 6 people for the boss to not get super dangerous debuff. Of course, even if you're blade storming, you still get sucked, so be aware of that, warriors. Here I'm using the Shadow Dance on the normal one. And if I used my cooldowns well, I could have used the same thing that we did before with a flag Vanish Shadow Blades. That was not possible because I went off the boss for a long time, and also my Symbols of Death were not that. So I lost a cooldown usage, let's say. Then we will do the intermission, chill intermission. Remember, you can CC and do other things with these mobs. Just use a normal dance on them. It will be nothing crazy. You will do some damage. And also help your tanks. If possible, remember to always focus the bile soaked ones because they are way more dangerous. Sometimes you do get bleed on you. Don't worry, you can pop a defensive or your healers can heal you very, very well. Try to get all of the visceras without popping cocoons like my fellow raiders. As a rogue, you have a lot of mobility, so you may want to get 2 or 3 visceras while healers heal and other DPS do their thing. Of course, I'm a human, so someone popped the cocoon on melee for some reason, and I went out of it. Now I'm using my cooldowns. We have 2 vanish charges, kind of, because the other one comes in 20 seconds. If we used our cooldowns well, we would have cooldowns here again in a hot minute after doing one normal dance. But as you know, I'm not a perfect player, so it is what it is. Just keep that one in mind and do as I say, not as I do. Now I get the first soak. This is actually good for me because it makes me able to do my damage on the second suck instead of being kind of like that. Do remember to use your shuriken throws if you're going to cap. And here I'm actually waiting for my flagellation to come off cooldown so I can do the flagellation vanish Shadow Blades. Now I'm hitting the boss from the front. Remember, you are a trickster, so you can do that with no issues. Here, you want to be close to your healer so they can do that. I didn't have my 3 power things. Of course, as you get more gear, the boss is going to die easier, but it was still not a bad kill. And that's it for Mythic Ulgrax. If you need any more tips or anything like that, you can always talk to me in Discord or in the Rogue Discord. I'm also there. Now, of course, This is not a one-by-one thing of how you could use your cooldowns, but you might expect to use a lot of season 3 kind of syncs instead. You will use your transmitter if you have it available after the interface goes. Dot one, you have that minute in between that helps you get that cooldown always. And for the other things, if you have 2-minute trinkets, you will use them, of course, afterwards, after the intermission too. Now, that's everything for this boss. Have a nice day, and I will see you on the next video.